Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Turham Media's podcast program, KHADIJAH Senior High School, Surabaya, the place where you get quality information about anything, especially interesting and exclusive news about KHADIJAH Raya. Well, hello everyone, welcome back with me, Nailal Fariha. So on this occasion, we will have a special guest and we will talk about his education background, experience, and also his activity in his daily life. Assalamualaikum, Mister.
Waalaikumsalam. Nice.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so how are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, at first, before we start the conversation, I want to ask you about your complete name and how do I call you?
Okay, my birth name is Eugene Lang, but you can call me Ahmad.
Okay. Okay, so I can call you Mr. Ahmad,
yes,
right?
That's right.
Okay, right, Mister. I heard that you are from German.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, maybe some people who's watching this also curious about how long have you been in Indonesia and where do you live now?
Okay, I arrived in August 2016 in Sidoarjo, and that's where I live.
Okay, so what are the reasons that make you decided to stay in Indonesia, especially in Sidoarjo?
Okay, the reasons why I want to move to Indonesia are I like the Indonesian people, especially in Java. They are very welcoming, very friendly, polite. And why I choose Sidoarjo especially is because my wife is a native of Sidoarjo.
Oh,
yeah.
So you married with Indonesian people?
Yes.
Okay. So then when you first came here, did you experience like culture shock or something like that?
Not really a shock because I travel a lot, so I know many cultures are different.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the things like the strong heat, especially in
Yes.
East Java, and maybe the traffic is sometimes scary.
Okay, yeah, the traffic. Even though I'm 100% Indonesian, I'm also have the same reaction with you, because I'm so I'm always annoyed and confused. What make this situation? And yes, the weather in Surabaya makes me angry easily, like that. But how do you deal with it?
It was a long process, to be honest. The beginning, I was often very nervous, or I tell to people to be more careful. But now I'm more stoicistic. So I just try to drive with the flow.
Yeah. Okay.
Most important part is arriving. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I assume we have some difference, but in terms of education itself, especially in learning English, English is not your first language, right?
That's true.
Okay, so how's your personal experience to study English and how is it between German and Indonesia?
From my experience now, I can tell that learning English in German schools and Indonesian schools are very similar.
Okay.
They are not really active based, but more academically focused on grammar. That's one thing I struggled with. So I wasn't good in English in school, but after I left the school, I become friends with some boys from the UK and from USA, and they helped me to learn English faster.
Yes. Yeah, also I really interested with studying English, but I have struggled to practicing my English because people here always care and aware for using grammar, and the stereotype in here, if we say it in English, they all say sok Inggris, and that also make me afraid to speaking clearly, actually, like that. But do you have any tips for practice English, maybe?
Yeah, the most important tip is don't be afraid. Just use it. Making mistakes, it's normal. The written language is different from the spoken language, so don't focus too much on the grammar.
Yes.
But you have to practice it. That's the most important part.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. So yeah, I know from your CV, right? If I'm not wrong, you was an mechanical engineering, mechanical engineering student in German. So what activity are you currently working on?
Something very different from my major. Usually I'm a guest teacher in many schools.
Wow.
I try to improve the English of the students. I try to motivate them to use the English, to don't be afraid of the English language, that it's a tool, and if you want to progress in life, English is a very good tool.
Okay, so it's different from the major you took before. The reason why you choose this, like the reason.
Why I become an educator? It actually it was pure accident. The mosque I went to, there weren't any people who spoke English, but my wife told me probably try the neighbor mosque. There are other people, and there I met a retired colonel. His name was Pa Jumairi. He asked, his English was very good, and he asked me, how come you moved to Indonesia? What are your plans? And I told him, maybe I want to open a language school to teach Indonesian children to learn German and English, because maybe they want to study abroad. And he introduced me to a friend of his. He is still the headmaster of SMP Musasi in Sidoarjo. And that's how I started my career in education.
Okay. That was really such a good story and really inspired me. But anyway, before we have been at the end of the agenda, if you don't mind, I would like to ask you to give a message to the student at SMA KHADIJAH in German.
Okay. Das Wichtigste ist, wenn ihr lernt, nicht nur Sprachen, aber auch alles andere, gebt niemals auf. Macht weiter. Wenn ihr Fehler macht, das ist ganz normal. Wenn ihr stolpert, steht wieder auf und fangt von neu an oder continue it. Okay. Das ist alles, was ich zu sagen habe. That's all from my side.
Okay. May I know what the meaning of your...
Yes, I told the students to don't be afraid of failing, because failing is part of success, and if they fail, just keep continue, then success will come.
Okay, right, Mr. I really thank you for coming here, and I'm really glad to have a good chance to talk with you. And for the audience, thank you for watching this podcast. I think that's enough. See you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.